there and welcome to my channel. My name is Samadrita and today we're going to talk about IELTS reading. So there are two types of IELTS exam, IELTS academics and IELTS general test. In both the type of exam, the reading section is there. It's held on the second slot of the IELTS exam where we are given 60 minutes to solve 40 questions. And these 40 questions are divided into 3 different sections. And we will be given no extra time to transfer our answers to the answer sheet. Now IELTS academics and IELTS general test both has this reading section, but it's slightly different. The reading section of IELTS academics exam is a little longer and a little harder, whereas the reading section of IELTS general test is a little shorter and a little easier. So I gave IELTS academics, and every student who is going abroad for the purpose of studying needs to give IELTS academic exam. So in this video, I'm going to talk about IELTS reading in IELTS academic examination, and I have divided this video in 4 sections. First is the reading passage types. Second is the types of questions you will get from the reading passages. And third is how is the marking done. Fourth is some tips and tricks which I'll be sharing with you. The reading section of IELTS exam has 3 passages, and all the 3 passages are long and for non-specialist audience, and the topics are taken from either books, journals, magazines or newspapers. So the passages are for general interest and it's widely available. The texts range from being descriptive to factual, from being analytical to discursive. Sometimes the passages may also have some non-verbal materials like graphs, illustrations or diagrams. If somehow the text contain any kind of technical term, then a glossary will be provided at the end of each passage. Now let's move on to the type of questions we will get in the reading exam. So there are mainly 14 types of questions which may come in IELTS reading section. The most common is identifying and matching the headings with each passages. Now for this, you will be given 7 to 10 headings for suppose 5 paragraphs in the passage, and you have to match the headings with each paragraph of the passage. The next common type of questions in IELTS reading is MCQ. Choose the correct answer, fill in the blanks, answer in one word, to map the claim of the author, to complete a flowchart or complete a short summary. You may be also asked to complete a short passage by filling the blanks which is related to the main passage. You may also be asked to fill in tables or label diagrams. Now let's come to IELTS marking scheme. Every question in IELTS contains 1 mark. So if you get 40 questions correct, you will be getting 40 marks, and it will be converted to IELTS band 0 to 9. So I have a checklist on what are the bands for what score. So I'll be reading it out for you. If you get band score 5, then you have 15 out of 40 correct. If you get band score 6, you have 23 questions correct out of 40. If you have band score 7, you have 30 questions correct out of 40. And if you have band score 8 and above, you have got 35 and above questions correct out of 40. So when I gave my IELTS exam, I felt reading was the hardest because obviously, as I told, that the options were very closely linked, and I scored 6.5, which was the lowest in my 7.5 total band score. In IELTS reading, as we have to solve 3 passages in 60 minutes, it's ideally we should be spending 20 minutes on each passage. But in IELTS reading, the passage goes from the least hardest to the most hardest. So the first passage is a little easier and the last one is the hardest. So it's advisable that you spend 15 minutes in the first one, the next 20 minutes in the second one, and the remaining 25 minutes in the last one. As IELTS reading is a time-based exam, in 60 minutes you have to cover 40 questions, so you have to develop speed reading skills. So every passage in IELTS reading section is quite long, and if you take too much of time to read and understand the passages, you will not be able to complete the entire 3 sections. So the first and foremost thing which you should do to solve the passages is skimming and scanning. Skimming means that you have to go through the passage in first 2-3 minutes to understand the topic. You don't have to understand every word in detail, just in gist what the topic is trying to tell you. Scanning is while you are reading, you have to underline few keywords so that when you are doing the question and answers, you can come back and read that area around it and get the answers. Now most of the questions except one type is there after the passage, which means that you have to read the passage before answering the questions. The only type of question which is there before the passage is matching the headings. So if this question of matching the heading comes, you don't have to read the entire passage for that. You have to read every paragraph and then match the heading with that paragraph. Your task is to locate the answers only, and most of the questions test your ability to find out information in the entire passage. Only 2 types of questions require detailed understanding of the passage. The first one is matching the heading with every paragraph or giving a title to the entire passage. The next important thing is you have to know the vocabulary well. So vocabulary doesn't only mean that you have to learn the meanings of varieties of words. You also have to learn the synonyms of it and in which place you can and cannot use a particular word. Try to locate the keywords when you are skimming and scanning the paragraph because most of the questions can revolve around the keywords. So try and understand if you can paraphrase certain keywords and put it in the question. Some keywords are quite obvious like names, addresses, etc. Other keywords can be a little subtle, so you have to find it out and see if it is paraphrased in the question. Grammar is another important factor in the reading section. So in questions where you have to complete the sentence or complete a particular summary, the answers have to be grammatically correct. So you may pick up the word from the passage, but the grammatical tenses, etc., you have to modify. Now, touching all these points, I would like to conclude that practice makes a man perfect. So you have to practice a lot for this reading exam to score well. Get used to the difficult passages, and you will find the resources in internet. You can also buy few test papers from Amazon or Flipkart. Try to do as many reading passages as you can, and when you sit for practicing yourself, try to complete all the 3 passages in the reading section in 60 minutes and see how much you score, how many questions you get correct out of 40. So this was all about IELTS reading section. Click the like button if you really liked it. I have also made videos on IELTS listening and IELTS speaking, the links of which are here in the top section. The next video will be on IELTS writing exam. So thank you and see you in the next video.